Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shota Deolusegun. This afternoon, I want us to look at derivation of formula of everything, FoE, where there are properties of this formula, and they are time, energy, the mass. We want to look at the relationship between time, energy, and mass. And once we are able to get this right, then we will have the FoE, which is the formula of everything. Now, this formula illustrates the entirety and the reality of universe itself. So let's dive into it. Now, the axiomatic premises on which this formula is formed states since particles can be rearranged to assume different states of matter, then there must be a transition from quantum to classical mechanics. So this is the axiom based on which the formula is formed. So now, once we know that, okay, the rearrangement of particles, we can have the state of matter as gas, the state of matter as solid, as liquid, and so on like that. Then we know that, well, the trajectory of time energy wave interaction has to be in such a way that we have the progression of this state of matter, or degradation of the state of the matter. You understand? So now, once we have that, then the model of the universe will be as what we have below, which is universe can be modeled as chains of inverted versions and dimensions. So it's going to be in form of inverted versions, and we'll see that later when we get to time energy wave model, where we'll be able to have the visual representation of the trajectory of time to energy to as the trajectory of time to energy as tapestry of universe's fabric. So the tapestry of time and energy is the fabric of universe. So not the space-time as we have it, because the interaction of time to energy is what bring about space as we have it. And we know that space is not an empty space, it is an ambient field of energy. So we're going to dissect all this, and we will be able to get the reality at quantum level. So now, to have this formula, since it's going to be modeled in chains of inverted versions and dimensions, so we're going to use chain rule. Now, the chain rule, we have the T the M equal the T the E times the E the M. So that is the chain rule formula of differential calculus. Now, this formula, there are two tools that we're going to use to come up with this formula of everything. We're going to use differential calculus, invented or developed by Sir Isaac Newton. Then we're going to use E equals mc squared of Albert Einstein. So those two formulas, we're going to merge them together to form this one formula of everything. So now that we have the chain rule, then we now say that T is the function of energy, time is the function of energy, where energy is m squared plus 1. So now we know that mass is the same thing as energy, and energy is the same thing as mass. So we have mass energy equivalence, and so we can easily integrate mass worth into energy. And so now we have dt dE equal to 2 times 1e raised power 2 minus 1. Then we have 2e, that is for the energy, and then we do the E the M to have 2m. So we follow the same procedure. So we have 2 times 1m raised power 2 minus 1 to have this 2m. So once we have this, then we are going to apply the chain rule to it. And so by chain rule, we have 2e times 2m, and that gives 4em. So now we have 4em right here, and from here you can see that this E can actually stand for energy, and later on we're going to integrate E equals mc squared in the place of this E. So the E is going to be a placeholder for that E equals mc squared. So now we have the T, the M equal. Now for us to model this m squared plus 1, then we have 4, we open bracket. Then we now have, since E is the same thing as m squared plus 1, so we now have 4m squared plus 1. We close the bracket, then we have m right here. And so that we actually, give us, we have a placeholder right here as well. So that we, surely give us the structure. This is giving us the structure of the formula of everything. So equal to, we then have 4m squared plus 4m. Now when you look at this 4m squared plus 4m as we have it here, it's actually telling us something, though we have not even derived the formula of everything, but we now have an idea of what is actually happening in the universe. And it's more or less like we have equal formation of matter and antimatter. So basically I actually see this 4m squared as a strong conveying force, while this 4m is a weak conveying force, and this weak conveying force is suspended to this strong conveying force. So we get to, you see this, you'll be able to understand this later as we progress. And then now we now want to actually put some values that we that will enable us to have the constant of universe. And then we want the the suspension to be at interval of that constant, but the constant is not really going to be constant as such, because we have m squared to the value of the constant that we're going to have. So it's going to be, it's going to be in form of variable constant, kind of. Okay, so now we now have we want to make our m, we want it to be 274 meter per second. Now what is this value? Yes, we need to get a generic worth for gravitational force. And instead of using mass, we have decided to use the sun's speed of gravitational force. So the gravitational force of sun speed is what we are using here. So that is 274 meter per second. And then we want to use the speed of light as well. We want to use the speed of light, and so we have approximately, we have 3.0 times 10 raised power 8. I can just clean this 0 here. So we have 3.0 times 10 raised power 8 meter per second. So that is the speed of light. So those are the two things that we're going to use. Now the reason I'm using the sun speed, the gravitational force of sun speed here, is because you know that all other heavenly bodies are attracted to sun, and we have our sun at the center of the system. So the force of the sun attracts all the uh, heavenly bodies, and so it is ideal to use the speed, the gravitational speed of of sun here. And so right here we now have to integrate the E equals mc squared into our formula, and so we have dt dm equal 4em. So 4em is the same thing as 4, we open bracket, then we have square bracket, we have m dot c, which is m times c raised power 2. We close the square bracket, and then we have plus 1, then we have the m. So we are using this particular structure here to integrate our E equals mc squared. So now that we have that, I just want to clean this board so that we can continue from there. So now I want to rewrite this particular this structure here so that we'll be able to see it clearly. So we have dt dm equal to we have 4, then we have square bracket m dot c squared, we close the square bracket, so then we have plus 1, and then we have m right here. Now that is the structure. So right now we want to start with the whole process, and so here we have dt dm equal, so we have our 4, and so now we want to, this m, don't forget our value, which is what we have right here. So we're going to put that there, and so we have our square bracket, and so we have 2, 7, 4, and then we open bracket. So we open bracket, then we put the value of the speed of light, which is times 10, so raised power 8, so raised power 8. So now we have 2 here, raised power 2 that we have right there, we have it there, and then we'll then close the square bracket to have another 2. Okay, now this 2 is actually for the c squared that we have right here, and so for inside the system we have another square outside here, and so we have plus 1, so we still have square here, plus 1, then we have m right here. So now we continue with this. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get the value of this particular one. So we say 274, then we have 9.0 times 10, so this gives us 16. We have square bracket here, no, we have square bracket here, we have bracket here, so this gives us 16, and then we close the square bracket to have another square, we have plus 1, Then we close it like that. Then we continue. So right now, by the time we multiply this with this, so we're going to have 6.3 times 10 raised power 38, and then we close the square bracket to have plus 1, then m. So now we have the t, the m equal to. So right now, once we open the bracket, then we have 2.5 times 10 raised power 39, and then we have plus 4, and then we have m. So right here we have 2.5 times 10 raised power 39, then times plus 4m. Good. You know that once we open the bracket, then it's going to be like this. Once we open the bracket, it will now be the t, the m equals to 2.5 times 10 raised power 39. We now have m here plus 4m. Now that is formula of everything for you. Now the constant is the constant value of the universe is 2.5 times 10 raised power 39, and so we have m attached to it, and that is why I said it's going to be in form of varied constant. Yes, it's going to be in form of that, because by the time we supply mass value right here, that we also have effect on the constants, and this 4m will be suspended to it. So now that we have it like this, well, we can actually take this constant and replace it with capital U, and so we have the original formula of everything. So now once we have it as this, the t, the m equals to 2.5 times 10 raised power 39 m plus 4m. So that is the value that we have. So now if we replace the constant with capital U, we have capital Um plus 4m, and that is formula of everything. So FoE equals to the T, the M equals to capital Um plus 4m. Okay, so that is the derivation of formula of everything. And well, the application of this formula extends time, energy, wave interaction in such a way to have space, and the space we have is what is known as cosmological space. But basically, as we know, space is not really empty as such. It's an ambient of energy field, as we know. So now, by application, let me just quickly give us example of what we have when we apply this formula. I really understand how it works. So now I usually use time energy wave model to illustrate. Yes, I usually use time energy wave to illustrate, and basically we have this as energy wave, and then this as time wave. And so at the topmost region we have mass convergence, and then at the bottom here we have mass convergence, and they get entangled. Okay, and so we have singularity right there, and here we have black hole singularity, evolutionary singularity, future singularity. So let me try and label it EFO singularity, then future singularity. Okay, so we have that there. Now the mass value of the true mass value of electron is 9.109 times 10 raised power minus 31. That is the electron mass. But there's something I want you to know. Here we have suspension, and up there we have suspension. Okay, so this could be likened to contraction phase, expanding phase, or nuclear fusion, or nuclear fission. Okay, and this is gravitational phase as well. Okay, so now we really need to understand the nature of mass. We really need to know what mass is all about. Well, another thing I want you to know is that the mass convergence here is much, way more bigger than what we have right here. And I must tell you that at the bottom, at the quantum level, here we have classical mass, and well, this, as we know it, we have it as the mass of electron. So the corresponding classical mass after applying formula of everything is 2,200,000 is 277 250,000. So we have this as kg, and then we have this as kg. Now, formula of everything is, when you apply it, you will get if you supply the mass worth of, for instance, let's say we supply the mass value of electron, which is this particular value, then we will get this classical mass worth value. And if you supply this value, classical mass worth value, into the formula, then you reconfirm the quantum mass worth, which is 9.109 times 10 raised power minus 31. So we can see the connectivity from quantum level to a classical level. So that is the unification that the formula implements. Then another thing we need to know is that we can see that we have suspension here. This mass formation is not at the extreme bottom of the wave constraint. So it is being suspended to it. Now, the suspension, that means we have repulsive force right at the edge of the time energy wave pattern. So the repulsive force that we have, against which the energy travel, is what really causes mass convergence. That is what we have as mass convergence. So we can see that this formula of everything is very, very powerful in illustrating the reality at quantum level. But there is another thing that is so profound, which is there is magnitude of wave that we have here, and that magnitude of wave is 5.7 times 10 raised power minus 48. Now this wave magnitude, if you supply this wave magnitude into the formula, the electron mass that you will get is going to be so tiny. And from there we get to know that this quantum trajectory is shedding mass, while the classical trajectory is accumulating mass. So what they are doing inversely to each other is even different. They are not doing the same thing. And that is why we cannot base our fact on symmetric nature of the universe. Though symmetric nature is needed for us to have this equilibrium trajectory, which is the equilibrium point that leads to singularity. We need it. We need symmetric nature. But the reality at quantum level is far beyond the symmetric nature of time energy wave model. So it's far beyond it. Before the full potential of this mass convergence can be realized, then there must be additional energy. So there must be additional force that will enable the trajectory to travel beyond the limit of time energy wave constraint. And once it travels down beyond the limit, that is when we can get the actual electron mass. That's when we can get it. And so in my other video, the other video that I will do, I will explain more, because that is going to be on time travel. So here definitely we have stream of energy outside the time energy wave polarization, and so that stream of energy, I will call it efficiency energy. So what that is telling us is that before the full potential of mass establishment can be realized, then there must be additional energy, additional efforts that we let the trajectory travel beyond limit to get efficiency energy for the realization of that potential energy of mass convergence. So that is formula of everything. That is the derivation for you. I hope this video, I hope you enjoy the video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel so as to be notified for the subsequent videos. Then make sure you share this video with your friends, and then comment, let me know your view on this. And don't forget, this is a novel discovery. I'm going to put a link to my research publication in the description below, so anyone can click on it to explore this formula of everything and even apply it to see what the formula is telling us. Thank you. God bless you.